Hey, welcome to another edition, another installment, another stream of Word Deconstruction. I am Pastor Lexi,
And I'm Pastor Rob.
and happy Friday to you all. And we're back with what we think of is another great topic for discussion. But before we get into that, we want to let you know that you can connect with us at churchone ypsilanti.com/connect. We love to hear from you all. We love when you all let us know, what topics you want to hear about, what questions you have, and all of that can be done by going to churchone.com/connect. You'll get a, welcome email from us, and then feel free to email us, at any time with topics that you want to hear about, questions that you may have, prayer requests, anything, testimonies. We just would love to connect with you. And we also love to pray for you all. So if you have a prayer request that you do not want to put out here on social media, because we are streaming on YouTube and on Facebook, and also on our Smart TV network. So if you have a prayer request that you don't want to be shared like that, then certainly go to churchoneypsilanti.com/prayer. Submit your prayer request there. We are happy to pray for you. We are happy to pray with you, even if you choose. And then finally, we want to encourage you to support our ministry monetarily if the Lord so leads. 95% of what comes in goes right back out to take care of needs in the local community, to help single parents, and to help with other Church One plants across the U.S. and abroad. So thank you. We are going to get into our topic for tonight. And our topic is...
Should the book of Jasher be in the Bible?
Oh boy. Yes. Should the book of Jasher be in the Bible? So over the years,
Yes.
There's been a debate about there are other books. No, there aren't other books. The other books aren't real, or we shouldn't be reading the other books, or, whatever the case may be. What's the matter?
No, I just thought I heard something.
Oh. Like what? The kids playing?
I think our children are playing. So if you hear
whatever
a little bit
they're
in the
doing.
background, we're in our studio, but for some reason we can hear them through. So, but what were you saying?
I don't know. I was just saying it's been a long time debate,
Yes.
about these extra books. Are they
Should
valid?
These books be in the Bible? Yes.
Yeah.
Are they valid?
Yeah.
And so I want to either validate or invalidate that the book of Jasher is something that is even considered a spiritual book.
Mm-hmm.
So can we do that first?
Sure.
And our thought on deconstruction is to either give you the proof that you can prove us right or you can prove us wrong, and not really us. We're just researchers who pray and who ask questions that our mind tell us to ask. Sometimes Pastor Lexi will say, well, what about this, this, and this? And I'll say, what about this, this, and this? And we just ask more questions. And then once we get all those questions written down or thought out, then we kind of answer those in ourselves. And then we kind of go into thought with each other. It's so much fun. And so with this one, it's so much fun because the book of Jasher, would you say yes? If you're out there, tell us where you're sharing with us from, and what city, what state, what country you're from.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to hear from you. But do you think the book of Jasher is mentioned in the Bible? That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? Then if it is mentioned in the Bible, is it mentioned as a book in the Bible? Yes or no? And then if it is mentioned as a book in the Bible, should it be a book in the Bible? Yes or no? These are some of the logical questions that we ask once we see things written in the Bible, or don't see it written in the Bible, or think that it's a misconstrued understanding on it. So there you have it. And so that's kind of our kind of deconstruction on this process. We ask basic questions and see if it meet as you were the litmus test, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so do you want to share a text with us that could kind of clear out whether Jasher is even mentioned in the Bible, whether there's a book in the Bible, whether it's mentioned as a book of books in the Bible, or is it just a book, et cetera, et cetera?
Is it a book or is it just a book? For 2 Samuel chapter 1. So in 2 Samuel chapter 1, this is one of the chapters that plays out David and Saul and Jonathan and everything that's going on with them. But in verse 17, it says, Then David composed a funeral song for Saul and Jonathan, and he commanded that it be taught to the people of Judah. It is known as the Song of the Bow, and it is recorded in the book of Jasher.
So now we have proof that the book of Jasher exists. Now the question is, a lot of people are saying, well, if it's mentioned in the Bible and it is a book that's mentioned in the Bible from a person that's in the Bible, should that book be in the Bible?
Yeah, but I'll do you one question even better, because we always say, hey, you can't run away with just one.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So
Right?
we must put it in what?
Well, context, but also looking at, so is it mentioned somewhere else in the Bible? And it is mentioned somewhere else in the Bible. It's mentioned in Joshua chapter 10, verse 13. And that reads, Until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies, is not this written in the book of Jasher? And then it goes on to say, So the sun stood still in the midst of the heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole, and it continues on. But it's mentioned again, the book of Jasher.
But in this time, it's mentioned in a prophetic way, meaning that in the book, you will see that it said this particular thing would happen. And guess what?
It happened.
It happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the question is, the people in the Bible mention the book. The book is Jasher. Is Jasher a book of the Bible? Jasher a book of the Bible at this moment? The answer to that is no. But is Jasher a book that is mentioned in the Bible? Yes. Is Jasher a prophetic book? Jasher.
Joshers and Jashers.
Jasher. Is it a book? Is it a prophetic book? The answer to that is yes.
Yeah, according to the second text that we read.
Right. So we've got two credible people in the Bible mentioning the book.
Mm-hmm.
The book is a credible book because it's mentioned in the Bible. And they're igniting the individuals who are around them, their leaders, to listen to what the book says, or acknowledging that the book was prophetic. Now, this is where we come into some sticky situations, because they're going to say, people are saying, well, if it's a prophetic book, then it probably should be in the Bible.
I mean, not even the fact that it's, if it's a prophetic book or not, but it just, to me, it seems as if it's mentioned in the Bible as a book, right. That, right, it should be in there, prophetic or not.
Right.
That's just me.
Well, it's me also. But it's not in the Bible. Now, here's the thing. The Bible mentions the book.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is whether it is or is not in the Bible. Can Christians read from it and gather information that's good? That's a more important question. Because whether it's in the Bible or outside of the Bible, we know that it's mentioned in the Bible, and it's mentioned for those individuals to either follow it prophetically. They were following it to see that something prophetic happened. And in another case, they were following it because of its songs. And so the question is, can Christians read it and follow from it? I would say, what would you say?
I would say
yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes. And so you've got both yeses from Pastor Lexi and I. And we're saying, yes, the book of Jasher is a valid book. It's mentioned in the Bible. And because it's mentioned in the Bible, and because the Bible is saying that it is a prophetic book, because it's saying, didn't the book of Jasher say that this is going to happen basically in one text, and then the other text, another, I think it's David. Is it David?
In 2 Samuel, the one I read.
Yes.
Yeah.
David learns of, I think, his son's death, and he's saying, or his nephew or something like that, and he's saying, let's go to the book and read out of the book and choose some songs.
Saul's death and Jonathan's death. Yeah.
So there we have it. So it's very clear. Now listen, we don't want to keep you long, because we want to stay short and to the point, because sometimes deconstruction can take a long time to deconstruct something. But when it's not many layers to pull back, it's not many layers to pull back. And we've given you two texts, 2 Samuel 1, verses 18 through 27. I think it was another one, right?
Joshua chapter 10, verse 13, I believe. Let me double check real quick. Joshua 10:13.
Very well. And so now we have two texts that validate the fact that there is a book of Jasher. And I'm saying to you, as a pastor, as a Christian, as a person who is a studier, seek direction from God to have a personal relationship with Him, and continue to study and seek out the books of Jasher. Pastor Lexi and I will probably have this book in our library soon, because we're like, some people are foodies. We're bookies, right? If that's a word. We like to read, and we like
new information. That's a word, all right. We're not them kind of bookies.
Right. Oh, how about that? Because I think bookies are people who take numbers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not those type of bookies. But yes, that's funny. We're not bookies. We're a person who like to collect books. That's books. What I'm. And so to continue to enhance our territory, to give us new knowledge, and just sharing intellect together. That's a lot of fun. We share that together, and we enjoy that in the Bible, and consistently coming from different points of view. But we're validating that yes, is a book of the Bible. That yes, it is a book that's mentioned in the Bible. Yes, it's a book that Christians can read. And so if it's a book that Christians can read, and it's a book that is prophetic, and it alludes to that there are songs that soothe the soul in that particular book. And so any of those things that the Bible's mentioning, that those other two things are said, we want to say yes, that is something that you can read. Now, there has been some reading on the internet to say that there are some books of Jasher that are not real. And so this is what you have to do. Listen, there are some people that say that the copies of the Bible are not real, right? I just want to be real and upfront with you. And because of that, your spirit has to discern. Your connection to God has to discern that. And so one of the things that we want to do is continue to lead you to truth. Continue that you have a good relationship with God. Listen, although God has chose us to shepherd at this time, the reason that we shepherd is so that your walk with Him can be closer. Not that you follow Pastor Lexi and I. And we are here only for the unchurched. And we feel a need to reach the unchurched, because one of the things we both agree that we grew up on is that when the message to the world is shared, that God's soon return will come. And because of that, we share freely. Matter of fact, as you know from us, we don't even accept the salary from our church, our global church. We could, but we have not. And the reason that we have not is because we feel like all tithe and offering need to be given to the community, so that the community. Matter of fact, in previous versions, we talked about the term ecclesia, meaning to what?
It means a group of people who are coming together to take care of the business of the city, the kingdom.
And so the business of the city. And so that's what we feel we're doing. Not only are we spreading the message, but we're taking care of the business of the kingdom. And you know what? I just want to give you a minute, because you're going on a big trip coming soon.
I'm on a big trip.
That's right. That's right. She's already, when this airs, she'll already be in.
I'll be in Ghana.
she'll already be in Ghana. That's what. Okay, so this is pre-recorded. I guess we shouldn't have given up all of that information.
That's all good. People
But
know you got to pre-record
right
from time to
now,
time.
right now, you're in Africa. What would you be
Yes.
doing at this time in Ghana?
I don't know. At this time in Ghana, because Ghana is 4 hours ahead, I'd probably be asleep, but getting ready to get up soon because they have church there. Church starts at 4 and 5 in the morning.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's shots fired, man. I probably would be unchurched in Ghana. Okay. I will be unchurched in Ghana.
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all,
but
you know,
it's
the
full
people
packed as I've seen it.
Packed. And I tell you, the first time that I witnessed it and experienced it, I was just like, they put us to shame in the States because, you know, we would be like, oh gosh, who wants to get up at 4 and 5? I mean, nobody would think of holding a service at 4 or 5 in the morning because they'd be like,
New Year's Eve services
coming.
Is the only time I've been in church.
Close but that's to that even, time. You know, midnight or whatever. Right. And I'm like, on occasion, I remember in churches I've been in before, one church that I've been in before we would do an all-night prayer meeting, but it wasn't a regular thing. It happened, you know, maybe 2-3 times a year or something like that. But that's the closest, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the time you all are seeing this, because they're 4 hours ahead. So I'll likely be getting ready for bed and preparing to get up at 4 in the morning.
So 15, is it 15 missionaries that you're taking to Accra? 14. Oh, you're the 15th person. And so I just want to wish you, as you're here now in Ghana, a great time. In witnessing to those, particularly the young ladies, because you're doing the My Period campaign. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we have been raising funds over the last few months to support young women and girls in Ghana with their menstruation and everything that comes with that. So we have a My Period campaign that we're going around to as we speak, 5 to 6 different schools that we're visiting, and we're doing workshops on menstruation and hygiene and, you know, all of the little ancillary topics that go with that. And we're also passing out sanitary napkins because in Ghana, sanitary napkins are expensive. They have a luxury tax and they have a value added tax. On top of the price of the pads. And so, you know, when I first heard that, I was just like, luxury tax? What? Like, what woman considers this a luxury? Right. Let me assure you, okay?
It's not a luxury.
All the men out there in the world who don't have to deal with this. It is not a luxury. Okay? Sure? Okay. Like if a woman could choose,
that would be a luxury. They would.
She would choose not to
have that.
She would choose not to deal with that. Okay. Right. So, but unfortunately, that's
a part of life.
That's what's going on over there. And so, we raised. We made our goal. We raised about $5,000.
That's awesome.
To go over there and. Which is why we could see 5 or 6 schools. We started out really just like maybe 3 schools.
And then we did added 2 more. That's awesome. Well, the other thing is I was studying about it. It says that sometimes it stops women from going to school, to college, to jobs.
Work or whatever other obligations that they may have.
Because it's a luxury tax on it.
I mean, you know, because of the luxury, because they can't afford them, and so if they can't afford them,
they can't go.
Can't go places because, you know, as you know, I'm not trying to be, you know, whatever, but it flows, right?
Right.
And so, you know, you're flowing. You can't certainly just be. Well, I mean, you could, but you know, it's just not
in the seat in math trying to learn a math class.
Hygienic, right?
Right.
So, oftentimes. They, you know, are held up in the house, or if they have some type of money, they may get diapers.
Yeah,
because the diapers are cheaper than the pads there,
and they said that they hold more,
and the diapers actually can actually hold more. So yeah, so it's crazy. So it's almost like the women and the you girls have been relegated to Bible days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where they used
Something
to
that's
cordon you
archaic.
off, because you were unclean. And it's not that they're saying that they're unclean. It's just the whole notion of, gosh, if I can't afford the pads, if I can't even afford baby diapers or whatever, then I have to isolate myself until this is done. And so that could be 7 days, it could be 5 days, it could be
And that's a lot of time to miss from a job, from college, or from a school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Math class or science class is, they build on each other. They're constructive. And if you deconstruct that, you'll see that you're missing a lot. Anyway, we don't want to keep you. I just wanted to let you know that Pastor Lexi is now in Ghana. And she's enjoying herself. It's probably going to be very hot there. But I know that the Lord has put in her soul to reach these young women. And we're excited about that. And then Money Mastery for her is sponsoring that. That's your company. And your company will be teaching financial infrastructure there also. To the
financial literacy to the young. So we have a youth summit. Yep, and that's one of the topics. I mean, it's a plethora of topics, and then we have a women's empowerment event also that is going on. All this during this weekend that you all are
hearing this.
Hearing this. So yes, keep us in prayer.
So, well, we're praying for you that everything goes well. We know that God has you and everyone else in His eyes and under His safety. And we will continue to pray. And as you move on these young ladies, shout out to all of those young ladies and men who will be touched by your ministry. And we look forward to pictures, etc., etc. Well, here at Word Deconstruction, we don't just deconstruct the word. We actually use the word. And we're proud that you're using the word in Accra, Ghana, to spread the word, not just deconstruct it. And so we're glad about that, Pastor Lexi. Congratulations to you and the work that you've done with you and the missionaries. So to God be the glory. Well, if no one's told you you love them, guess what?
We love you.
We love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. But more than ever, we just want you to know that
Jesus is Lord.